Thank you. If you would join me in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're going to open the public hearing for comments on the school budget for FY '27. Are there any people who wish to speak on the budget proposal that we have out? I don't want to rush you. All right, hearing none, we will close the public hearing for the budget. Can I have a motion to do that?
I move we close the public hearing.
Second?
Second.
All those, discussion, anybody? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, adoption of the agenda. Is there a motion for the adoption of the agenda?
Madam Chair?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Thank you. And got a second, any discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 7-0. We will now have Mr. Blackburn, who is our principal of Culpeper Middle School, do a principal presentation.
Good evening. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Brads. Good. Tonight, I'm proud to introduce 3 outstanding staff members who are helping lead an important step forward in strengthening inclusivity at CMS. Ms. Christina Stevens, one of our adaptive curriculum teachers, Ms. Jackie Thomas, one of our health and physical education teachers, and Ms. Nicole Harmon, our gifted teacher. Each of them bring a deep commitment to ensuring that every student feels valued, seen, and connected to our school community. I would also like to introduce 2 of our student buddies, Samantha Anderson and Fallon Brown, who have helped lead our student body in our implementation of Unified. We are excited to share our vision for implementing the Unified program at CMS. Unified is built on the belief that schools are strongest when students of all abilities learn, lead, and grow together. It intentionally creates opportunities for students with and without disabilities to build authentic relationships and meaningful connections. At CMS, we believe inclusivity is not simply an initiative, it is a responsibility. The Unified program gives us a structured, research-based framework to deepen connections among students, foster empathy, and ensure that every child has opportunities to participate, contribute, and thrive. And at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Stevens, who's going to give you a little bit more information about Unified itself.
Good evening. Let me tell you a little about Unified. It's a program for schools, pre-K through university, that intentionally promotes meaningful inclusion, bringing together students with and without intellectual disabilities to create an accepting school environment. There are 3 pillars to the Unified program. The first pillar is Unified Sports. Students of all ability levels compete together on the same team, promoting teamwork, mutual respect, and school pride. It shifts the focus from ability differences to shared strength and collaboration. At CMS, we've been fortunate enough to participate in Unified Basketball and Unified Volleyball. We will have Coach Thomas tell you a little bit about the championship that we recently won. The second pillar is Inclusive Youth Leadership. Students are empowered to become advocates and leaders who promote inclusion school-wide. They plan activities, model inclusive behaviors, and help shape a culture where everyone belongs. We did this through the SEA and Ms. Harmon, who took the lead. We've done this through activities including Unified Movie Night and various Spirit Days. The third pillar is whole school engagement. Through school-wide events, awareness activities, and intentional messaging, inclusion becomes a part of the fabric of the school, not just a program, but a mindset. We have done that recently through October Disability Awareness Month, where facts were shared from our speech and language pathologists, posters were placed around the school, and we had morning announcements where different facts were shared. We also had Inclusive Spirit Week, which was in the first week in December. That was through our Choose to Include campaign, which you will see later. It was a wonderful experience. And we've also done the 2025 Unified Spirit Week. We've added a 4th pillar through CMS, including community-based instruction, where we extend education beyond the 4 walls of the classroom. We bring the community to us, and we go to the community. As our community continues to grow, it is vital that our students know what is available to them and how to access the community and the resources. The only way to do this is to be in the community and become a part of the community. I'd like to thank multiple community resources, including the Sheriff's Department, Culpeper Parks and Rec, Throwbacks Arcade, Southside Coffee, among many other who have contributed to our success. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Coach Thomas.
I'll put that there. Hi, I'm Jackie Thomas, and I'm the Unified PE teacher and coach of the Unified Champions at CMS. To me, Unified Physical Education means a truly inclusive learning experience where students with and without disabilities work on athletic skills, development, play games, and learn together as equals. It uses sports to foster genuine friendship, mutual respect, and leadership skills in a safe and fun environment. In November, we competed in the basketball tournament where the champions came out victorious. This is our trophy that we received. We will compete in a tournament at the end of this month for volleyball, and then we will have our Special Olympics in April.
Good evening, I'm Nicole Harmon. We are so lucky to have Christina Stevens at Culpeper Middle School. She is a wealth of knowledge and just endless, boundless enthusiasm for the work that we're trying to do to promote inclusion. We have seen the way that it empowers our students with meaningful and authentic learning experiences. And I am so pleased to share with you experiences directly from students who have been impacted by the wonderful experience that Unified is for our school.
Hi, I'm Samantha Anderson. I'm the president of the SCA and a proud member of the Inclusion Committee at Culpeper Middle School. I'm Fallon Brown. I am also a proud member of the Inclusion Committee at CMS. I have witnessed the importance of inclusion firsthand because I have a brother who has a disability. This has shown me that all people should be treated fairly and be included. I have also had opportunities to be involved in the Inclusion Committee due to being an ACE class. In ACE, we plan activities to enjoy with Miss Stevens students. One of the activities we planned during ACE was a Halloween Witch's Brew experiment. We buddied up to find the bubbling witch's brew. It was very rewarding to work together and get to know them while experimenting with the mixtures. One of my favorite activities that I helped with was the Choose to Include campaign. In this campaign, SCM members and Miss Stevens students sat at a table during lunch with 2 Choose to Include banners. Students could come up and sign the banner. Signing the banner was a pledge to include all. The entire student body was encouraged to learn about and participate in the pledge. I loved teaching the student body and seeing the banner full of signatures afterwards. Thank you. Thank you.
This week is Inclusive Schools Week. Here's a special announcement.
Good morning, Cougars. This week is Inclusive School Week 2025.
Since it first began in 2001, this special week has celebrated the progress schools have made in creating welcoming and inclusive environments for everyone.
It reminds us how important it is to make sure all students feel included every day.
This year's theme is Children First, building a stronger tomorrow. Putting children first means creating a school community where everyone feels like they can learn, grow, and truly belong.
When we look out for each other, we build a strong culture together.
During lunch on Tuesday this week, stop by the Unified Team table.
Show your Cougar pride by signing the Choose to Include banner.
Show that you are a caring, motivated, and successful kiddo who chooses to include it.
So let's put children first and build a stronger tomorrow by signing the banner at lunch tomorrow.
Bye!
Inclusion,
Teamwork.
Kindness.
Belonging.
Welcoming.
Memories.
Together.
friendship, inspiring,
Meaningful. Happiness.
love.
I want to thank you for letting my staff and my students present tonight, and if you have any questions, we'll take them at this time.
Anyone want to make a comment?
I have a, okay.
No question, Mr. Blackburn. That was just very moving. That was excellent, excellent little video, and the kids were wonderful.
I just wanted to add along that that was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your students with us.
100% agree with that, and I was curious about the tournaments. What is that? You know, how did?
Jackie, you want to come up and talk?
Whoops.
It's your favorite thing? I told her there'd be 5 people here, so.
There are 5 people here. There are 5.
So we have a tournament, our volleyball tournament is March 31st. And we're in through the day, and we go to the Liberty High School, and we will compete with other middle schools from that area.
And it's all of the students that are involved all go?
Yes, almost. So most of the group that goes, the buddies that I've chosen, they are mostly 8th graders. So all of my 8th graders come with me. I only have I have 2 7th graders that I bring with me on the field trips. And yes, so we use, and we modify the game, and we modify the court, the ball that's used, the size of the net, things like that.
Right.
And then we make sure that we have like a certain amount of buddies on there. So usually there's 1 or 2 buddies, and then our champions are on there as well, and we compete against the other team. And it's a beautiful, amazing event.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much.
Anybody else?
Thank you all again for your kind words. It really is my staff and students that make
Hold on.
this possible. Yes.
Okay, then I'll speak. I'd like to thank you for your presentation. It really says a lot when students are the ones who are speaking, and that really does make everyone's heart a little warmer when they see that, so I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Anybody else?
As a follow-up, next year we're going to be adding unified sound, so we're going to be introducing them into the band as well. So that's our initiative for next year.
All
So again,
right.
thank you all.
Good job. All right, at this time, let's see, I believe we have presentations and recognitions. So we're going to do the choirs. Mr. Burns, your choir first, please. This is the CCHS All-State Choir.
So I already grabbed one of them, so I should only be doing Ali and Talia. This one is Miss Kreitz. I already grabbed one of them. They're not coming today. Yeah, I think they're with
Read the name.
Miss Kreitz.
I think the coach does. Oh,
Thank you all for being here, and thank you to the school board and Dr. Brads for giving us this opportunity to recognize student achievement. It really means a lot. So the first student I'm going to be recognizing is Allie Meadows. So Allie is a junior this year and has been balancing a lot. Has DE classes, yes. Stats, was one of our urchins in Little Shop of Horrors. Has been handling a lot and also made it into states this year. So really, really well deserved and super, super proud of you. So. Is Talia here? I hadn't seen her yet. Okay, well, another student who made it into state choir this year is Talia White. If you saw Little Shop of Horrors, she was actually our Audrey 2, the plant. And another student who was unable to be here tonight was Ryan Hutchison. All wonderful students and incredibly proud of all of them. So.
At this time, we will recognize All-State Choir from EVHS, Mrs. Kreitz.
Good evening. My name is Vancheska Kreitz, and I am the choral director at Eastern View High School. I have the privilege of recognizing my 7 extremely talented singers that were admitted into All Virginia this year. First up, I have Miss Abigail Shears. Abby is a choir senior. This will be her first year going to All Virginia, and she is extremely talented. I am super proud of her. Actually, our #1 qualifying alto 2 for District 13. Next up, we have Alejandro Gonzalez Ramirez. Alejandro will be going to All Virginia for the 2nd time and represented us for Tenor 1. Next, we have Mr. Daniel Montano Reyes. Daniel's first year representing us at All Virginia in our Base 1 section. Next up, we have David Carrico. We have David holding us down in the Base 2 section. Next up, we have Miss Emerson Hodgson. Emerson is a junior this year, and this is her first time representing EV at All Virginia Choir as a soprano 2. Mr. Ian Edwards. This will be Ian's 2nd time at All Virginia Choir, and he is a tenor 2. Last but not least is Zachary Harms. Zach has represented EVHS all 4 years of his choir career at All Virginia Choir, and he was our first tenor 2 for District 13 this year. So proud of you all that you will be representing Culpeper County Public Schools, and thank you, board, for allowing us to recognize those who are excelling in music and the arts.
Next recognition is the Virginia High School League Wrestling, EVHS, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you once again for doing this. I really appreciate the opportunity for these young men to be recognized. It shouldn't go overlooked that there's another opportunity for these guys to be recognized in the community at the school board, and I appreciate for you guys setting aside that time to make it happen. The first person we're going to recognize is Mr. Benjamin Davis. Benji's a sophomore. He's a regional champ for us this year and ended up placing 4th at states. And next up is Mr. Declan McCartan. He's second for us at regionals this year and ended up 4th at state. The next person is the Michael Byrne. First at regionals and first at state champion, and actually a 2-time state champion for our Eastern View Cyclones. And last but not least, our my own boy, a freshman, Mr. Nathan Taylor. He's a first in a region and 5th in the state.
At this time, we will recognize the girls wrestling for Virginia High School League, EVHS, and that would be Ms. Snow.
Hello, I am Coach Lexi, and I would like to recognize Ali Zarnowski, who placed 2nd in the Zone 2 qualifiers. I'm sorry, 3rd in the Zone 2 qualifiers, and placed 6th in the state overall and got 2nd in 4A. So she had an impeccable season, and I'm super proud of her.
And the last student recognition is the Virginia High School League's girls swimming, Mr. Denham, Eastern View High School.
All right, thank you for giving me the opportunity. So I think as Coach Taylor can attest to, sometimes that's the best part about having your kid on the team is you get to dad brag in an official capacity. So yeah, I'd like to recognize my daughter, Olivia Denham, for finishing 7th in the 50 freestyle. She qualified for states in 3 different events. She got to swim 2 of them, finished 7th overall, so it was a great finish. And she did all of that while setting records in the 50 free, the 100 breast, the 200 free, and was part of the women's 400 freestyle relay that set a new record this year. So it was a great season. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you. At this time, we will have our employees with different years of experience recognized.
Good evening, Dr. Brads, Ms. Brown, members of the board. It is my pleasure this evening to introduce you to some of our longest-serving, not going to say senior, employees in the division. CCPS recognizes employees for every 5 years of service. This year, employees got their choice of gifts as just a thank you to them for their hard work and dedication to the students in the division. These gifts will be presented to them at their respective schools. Tonight, though, I would like to formally recognize those who have 30 years of service, 35, and even 45 years of service. So tonight we're going to start with our 30 years of service group. We're going to start with one of our bus drivers, Ms. Terry Fincham. If you would come up, Dr. Brads has a certificate for you and have a photo. Ms. Fincham, are you here? All right, Terry must not be here this evening. Next, we have one of our kindergarten teachers from Sycamore Park, Ms. Tammy Hoffman. I know Tammy's also a mentor to our new teachers as well, so we thank her for that service. Stay, yes. Perfect, thank you. Next, we have Reba Miller. Reba is our food service manager at Culpeper County High School. Next, our own Miss Randy Richards-Lutz. Randy is our director of CTE programs that I've known for a long time. Very dedicated to the programs and the students in this division, so thank you, Randy. Next, from our maintenance department, we have Stephen Rosenberg. He is in charge of making sure we are heated and cooled sufficiently. So, Mr. Rosenberg, come on up. Next is Ms. Angelique Weinkoop. Angelique works in the special education department. She was at central office. Now she is a teacher at Culpeper County High School. So thank you, Angelique. Also this evening, we had Teresa Curtis, our food service manager at Yale, who is not able to be here, but I think Ms. Hoover, you would like to. No, that way. There we go. Thank you. Our next group has 35 years of service with the division. To start, we're going to start with Ms. Jennifer Burris from our special education department. Is Jennifer here this evening? There she is. Come on up, Jennifer. $35. Got it. There we go. That's right. 35. All right, thank you, Jennifer. Got it? That's right. It's 35. It's right. Just 35? Okay, all right. Next, we have our own Mr. Robert Hamann, our Executive Director of Instruction. All right, we have 3 people who are not able to attend tonight. Ms. Kim Berry, a teacher at A.G. Richardson, Melissa Jenkins, also a teacher at A.G. Richardson, and Yvette Patton, our food service manager at Sycamore Park. So we thank them as well.
Just hold it up. Okay, hold on. I need a group shot. Jennifer,
Just do a
don't
group,
go anywhere.
group,
Yeah.
group shot.
Yes.
Yeah, a group of 2. You get,
Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
each group is
Thank you.
smaller.
Yes.
Thank you. And our last group's even smaller. There is only 2. We have Ms. Lucy Timbers, one of our school bus drivers. I do not believe Lucy is with us this evening. But we have Miss Carolyn Miner, the head custodian at Sycamore Park Elementary School. Ms. Carolyn. That's right, 45 years of service. And she's not retiring, she's still going. Thank you all. It was my pleasure this evening to introduce those people to you all.
All right. We will give enough time for people to leave if they choose to, and then we will go on with the rest of the meeting. At this time, it's the request to speak. There is no one who has signed up, but is there anyone that wishes to speak? All right. Hearing none, we are up to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to accept the consent agenda, which is the approval of the minutes from February 9th and February 23rd, and payroll and payment of bills?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
And is there any discussion? Hearing none, we will vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, 7-0. Action items, presentation / approval of the operating budget for FY '27.
Okay, Madam Chairman, members of the board, pleased to present to you our budget recommendation for FY '27. We have reviewed this a couple of times with respect to our work sessions, and then individually reviewed because we received some very late information from the General Assembly, specifically the Senate, that aligns with our goals and objectives for the spending plan for next year, and I'll talk about that here briefly. So please let me know if you have any questions, but I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because this is something you're pretty familiar with. So with all that said, that's a quick look at what our agenda looks like for this evening. So the biggie, as you have heard and we'll hear from Mr. Dean later, 2/3 of our funding comes from the Commonwealth. With respect to re-benchmarking and a 2-year biennial cycle that we're looking at, the previous outgoing governor submitted the budget, and that budget is House Bill 30, Senate Bill 30, and then the General Assembly takes that, they make changes to it, and work through the long session, and I won't say springtime, through the winter, to come up with a budget. Typically, we get a Senate version, a House version, and the base starting point was the governor's version, which is what we started with. So just a few highlights there. It is for the FY27, FY28 year. We do not have calc tools on what we're recommending, but we have distribution sheets that give us a pretty good idea of where we stand. The ADM estimate, ADM across the Commonwealth has been reduced based on state projections that the state uses out of Weldon Cooper, primarily relying on live births and not so much in-migration. Our composite index changed very slightly, went down 1/10,000th of a point from 3617 to 3616. That has to do with how much we receive from the Commonwealth based on the wealth of Culpeper and the wealth of the Commonwealth. Again, we have no calc tool for the recommendation that we're making. We did have one for the governor that came out late December. We will not likely see a calc tool until we have the conferees, which are meeting as we speak, and they will put together a budget, and probably not till 10 days to 2 weeks after that will we receive actually a calc tool. It's always an interesting process that we're doing this based on our best estimates, educated guesses as to what state revenue may look like, but this is the process because the General Assembly has not finalized those numbers. We also want to give what we have as the best estimate to our county. We'll be doing that later this week, and I'll mention that later in the presentation. But right now, in using the the Senate version of the spending plan, the revisions to the governor's budget, we are looking at an increase over FY26 of $5.7 million. I will be rounding a lot. And this takes our state revenue anticipated up to $87 million. So, next slide. Let me tell you what it doesn't include. In both versions, not the governor's submitted budget, but in the House and Senate versions, there is something called the caboose bill, and that is FY26. That's amendments to and changes to FY26, the spending year we're in. And there is a recommended bonus in that for this year, but also the caveat, if you cannot do it this year, perhaps you can do it next year. Well, this particular bonus is very different, as it's indicated in both the House and the Senate, and we have all indications that the governor is going to approve this. But if you take a look at that screen, it says not recommended. We do not recommend this expenditure. We do recommend a salary increase, which I'll talk about in just a second. But in order for this bonus to take place, we would have to seek 54% local funding in order to provide this bonus. The state funding is only $894,000. We would need more than that to offer this bonus. It is not fiscally responsible to be able to do this, so therefore we're not recommending doing this. And we've had conversations about this, and we appreciate your support on this. Often when there's a match in play, that's not only a string attached, that is a rope attached. That's pretty hefty in terms of trying to offer this. Most recently in this fiscal year, we did offer a bonus. We were offered funds. We spread that amount because we could spread it out for retention. We did so everyone received a component of that bonus, and that did not cost us local money or change our our budget for that purpose. So, in full disclosure, whatever lands on this bonus, we will not be seeking it. Yes, that says we leave that money on the table, but you leave money on the table when the expectation is you need more than that money on the table to make it happen. I hope that makes sense. Happy to answer any questions. Okay, rolling on. This is Mr. Dean's good news, bad news slide. Good news, decrease in the VRS rate shows a savings for us, but after scrubbing our health insurance renewals in terms of how much we need to balance that, comes out as basically a neutral, as a wash, with our health insurance going up 8.8%. That is the employer share. This will be also applied to the employees, to their share. We do not have those rates yet, but think of it in terms of if you're a single subscriber and you have a monthly rate, that will go up by 8.8%. Noteworthy, last year we had a decrease in our health insurance. The year before that, there was 0% increase. So in a 3-year period, that's not bad at all. And just about everybody in our region or around us is experiencing more than double-digit increase for their health insurance renewal. And I say double-digit, I'm talking mid to upper teens. 2 localities, which I will not name, are looking at 20 and 22% respectively. So we're not there, and we're happy not to be there with our health plan. So that's effectively a wash. Getting into compensation, we have traditionally showed compensation to other school divisions, and we typically do not have anyone depart us, I would say, more than double figures. I'm sorry, more than a single person. So you may have 2 go to one school division or something of that nature. So instead of putting different folks or different school divisions up on this list where we've certified employment verification, we decided to switch it up a bit this year by just using the contiguous counties to Culpeper and showing a comparison. And as you see, we bode quite well with respect to that comparison. Remember, our goal was some time ago within that comparison group to be at the midpoint, and we are better than the midpoint on salaries. So what will that look like going forward? Well, the salary proposal is, and this is also in the Senate version of the budget, at a 3% salary increase. Teacher scale, 2.2% increase with steps from 0.8% to 1.6%. The number you see representing that of nearly $1.9 million, that is inclusive of the salary increases and the fixed charges, FICA, VRS, and any benefit charges that we would have to have. So that's inclusive of those costs. Same for administrative and certificated open ranges. Classified steps, a few of our classifications still have scales, actual scales. So whether it's 1.5 or 1.6 in the steps, we will be adding to that, plus 1.5%, so that the classified step that would be either a 3 or a 3.1 respectively, and that would be the increase across the board. Our categorical stipends, say for coaching and those kinds of things, which we have very competitive rates for coaching, is based upon not the teachers or the staff members' pay, because we have a number of folks that are, I will use the term civilian, non-school or employees for their day jobs as our coaches. So our base calculation is beginning teacher pay. If we bump teacher pay, beginning teacher pay, then the categorical stipends, particularly in the teacher and the coach arena, goes up. So that represents that increase. So the big slide for moving the needle, so to speak, in the spending plan is on compensation. So compensation and benefits is a $3.1 million proposition. Where is that coming from? We'll get there shortly. I always like to show with our largest group and our I would say the group that has the most direct impact with our students, our teacher group. This is what that scale would look like. We've been showing this for several years. The teacher scale, as it reflects moving from year over year, this shows the proposed 2.2 scale adjustment. You may want to refer to that as cost of living, and then the additional steps. So with, as I said earlier, the step plus cost of living would be 3.02 up to 3.83. That is in the range of the scales. Unbudgeted positions, this fiscal year, we added 1.25 positions. We want to keep those positions. I'm not going to go into that in great detail. Of our all-in Virginia money that happened in FY 24, 25, 26, we are retaining a few of those positions. I'll get to that reduction shortly, but that is actually 4 FTEs that we're maintaining in the budget. Again, the FTEs plus fringes, that's their $361,000, $361,000. In terms of our staff, program leaders, our building administrators, and their requests this year, always lots of requests for positions. We get that down to what we can practically do and support our moving the needle with respect to curriculum and programming as 4.5 additional FTEs. Noteworthy is one of those is not actually a new FTE, it's converting an FTE from a para to a teacher. FTE, full-time equivalent, for those watching, full-time equivalent. So that's the price tag, $270,000 for those new positions in this proposed spending plan. Some bolstering of categories in career and technical education across the board of CTE and somewhat specifically at CTEC. Now that we're well established there, we need to bolster some of those lines with respect to expendables, or replaceables, consumables, those kinds of things, and also not pulling from other instructional lines to make these things happen. And they do make people happy, yes. So these are some of the items there, and that has a $289,000 price tag, staying up with taking care of equipment replacement and those kinds of things. And that SCBA gear, that is, there's no U in there for scuba, but that is self-contained breathing apparatus for our very successful firefighting program. So we need to start. We were lucky to get started with some loaners, and they were safe, but it's time to cycle those out and get our own sets of those. So that's a big ticket in this list here, just saying. Next slide shows some instruction increases specifically in the arena of special education, to include but not limited to contracted services, increase in or tuition at Ivy Creek and Prep, and ESY summer stipends. That's $486,000. Technology wouldn't be a budget year without increases to technology, software, fiber, E-rate reimbursements, and also some instructional materials, also fine arts and world language and professional development, and also funding the VCU RTR teacher residency program, which is not a component of FEA, our Future Educators Academy, but is a nice off-ramp program that does already exist, that meshes well with our FEA students who may want to choose this path, and that is they can go through VCU by working for us part-time and get their 2 years, meaning year 3 and year 4, and get their teacher endorsement through VCU. So that we're excited to be a part of that program with Virginia Commonwealth. That's a $792,000 price tag. Additional items, supplies for maintenance, always, transportation, software, student safety upgrade, administration, we have audit fees increase, property insurance increase for adding square footage under roof and students will be occupying, so that increases our property insurance. And we're going to refresh our Wolpert study, our growth study that we did in 2024, because that will be coming to a theater near us next year in the fiscal year, so that we can do that study as it helps us be able to define where our students will be going the school year after next, not this next coming school year, but in the fall of 27 when we open Mountain Run Elementary School. So this will help us with growth, capacity, and enrollment, and where students are and where families are living in the county. This has been a very good tool for us. This tool has led us to the additions and renovations at CMS, ongoing project that's going well, and Mountain Run Elementary School that is underway. So that's the growth study is a good study for us to have. This is a third-party company that this is what they do. So they're experts in the field of these assessments and estimates. Next, we have a reduction in not applying to this year's budget because we used 2 years of it in FY26. It's only 1 year available in FY27, so we're reducing it by 310 instead of going with the 620. I think I'm saying that correctly. So it's 310 reduction over FY26. So not a reduction of what's out there, but a reduction of what we've placed in the budget. So that shows as a negative. The all-in Virginia complicated gift of FY24, that was over 3 fiscal years, 24, 25, and 26. We finished that out this fiscal year, so that's a reduction of $1.2 million finishing out those programs. You see that includes FTEs, 6 FTEs, but remember on an earlier slide, 4 of those 6 we are retaining, hope to retain. Quick summary of what I just ran through in terms of a spending plan. Your spending plan has expenditures. There they go. I'm not going to read all those to you, but that's nearly a $4 million net increase of the operating budget. The revenue summary, it is our job to present as close to a balanced budget as we can, and the revenue shows that we are balanced, that the revenue shortfall based on what our spending goals are and the anticipated revenue from the state gets us at zero. And I will show you this slide. That means zero, ask of Culpeper County. We know this is unusual, but also works very well for us because of the state increase, which I'll show in the next slide. The percentage of that state increase, no funding gap, level funded for the county, that helps us. The county is doing some heavy lifting for us on projects and debt service and those kinds of things, so we recognize that and we appreciate that. But also, we know that FY28 will not look the same because FY28, we will have to open an elementary school. So there will be some expenses. And certainly, we will have new numbers with state revenue, but we fully anticipate there will have to be a bigger lift from our county next year for opening the school and staffing the school. So what does that look like on the expenditure side? It shows where some of those increases were, for example, with the property insurance and the Wolpert study and those kinds of things. Pupil transportation, that's an increase in cleaning up and getting more accuracy with respect to our transportation, with respect to overtime and trips and those kinds of things and how they have been posted. So that's a cleanup on that, showing an increase there. But the net there is the total school operating fund is increased by 3%. As in 2.6 on school food service. We'll go back over to the revenue side of that. The key there is at the state level, at the $87 million, that's a 6.6% increase. So with that state increase estimated, remember estimated, increase from the state, we're able to do what we set out to do without asking the county for an increase. That's where you see the 0% increase. This still gives us year over year a growing budget of 3% over FY26, which is a good thing. You see school food services in the same boat. So, in a positive boat. The next item is up for, in the budget work session process, is that based on board action this evening, we would potentially present what we've prepared here to the Board of Supervisors on Thursday afternoon. So, that was pretty quick, but not brand new to those folks up here on the dais. Maybe some newness for our audience, but this has been out in circulation a bit. But I'm happy to answer any question you may have. Mr. Dean is here to help answer any questions. I would like to say publicly thank you to all of our staff, our building administrators, our department heads, our central office staff involved with putting all of this together to present a budget that still moves Culpeper forward and in a big way, and we think we can pull this off looking at all things. Operating expenditures for the coming year, the debt service that's being paid on our behalf for our new projects, and the anticipation of having to staff that school in the next fiscal year. So happy to answer any questions you may have.
Anyone, questions?
I don't have a question, but I want to just say thank you to you and your staff for all the hard work that you've done in putting this together and sharing it with us. And yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Then I will ask for a motion on the budget.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the presentation as presented and ask Dr. Brads to do the next step in the process.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I, too, would like to say I can't imagine anyone here having to figure out a budget of millions and millions of dollars when you don't know the money you're going to get. And you have to have it presented to the Board of Supervisors by a deadline before you find out the money you have. It's fortunate that we have experienced people in the positions they're in that we can feel comfortable saying, sure, go ahead. When other places and locations are looking at not too good of a situation, and we're working to make sure that we make it possible in the county. So that's something that's lost on a lot of the public. And as Mrs. Smith was saying, we're blessed in what we have and our people in finance, not just Mr. Dean, but everybody else he has. And our superintendent has enough connections to call other people that have been there for a while and commiserate and also figure out what do you do. So thank you all, and we will vote at this time. All those in favor of moving this budget forward, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we will move on to the next item. Action item, if any, on the program of studies, adjusting the course names. I believe.
Just too quick for me, Ms. Brown. Thank you for your support of the proposed budget.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, the names, please. Mrs. Richards, Lutz.
Madam Chair, Dr. Brads, and members of the board, good evening and thank you for your time. Tonight, I'm providing a brief update on our E-Squared, which stands for Entrepreneurial Energy Program. And I'm requesting approval for a course change that aligns our program with updated Virginia Department of Education course offerings. This change allows us to continue offering the program while ensuring it meets current state requirements. Next slide. That's okay. So while we're pulling that up, I'd like to provide a brief overview of the E-Squared program and how it has evolved over time. The E-Squared program was established 18 years ago and grew out of the Career Academy that existed at Culpeper County High School. Students in the Career Academy participated in a 2-week entrepreneurial project loosely modeled around the TV show The Apprentice. After successful years in that format, the program developed into what we now know as E-Squared today, a semester-long, highly competitive and intensive course that brings together teams of students, their teachers, and their business coaches to develop a complete business from start to finish, a complete business plan from start to finish, and then they present that to our faux venture capitalists who are our judges. As you know, E-Squared is the signature program of Career Partners Incorporated, connecting students with mentors, business leaders, and authentic startup experiences. Over the years, student participation is also involved. Sorry, I have the clicker. Not used to clicking. Over the years, student participation, as I said, has evolved. The program originally included students from several CTE program areas such as agriculture, family and consumer science, business, marketing, and technology. As the program grew, that model became too difficult to sustain due to the large amount of volunteers needed for E-Squared. So the course was aligned later with marketing or business, which is dependent upon the teacher licensure. The video course previously used for the program was retired this past year, which brings us to the course alignment request that I'm presenting tonight. As I just mentioned, this update is required because VDOE recently retired the course. The course that we use, that previous course, is CTE Leadership Development. So as a result, school divisions must align with a current approved course. To move forward with this change, several steps are required. First, approval by the CTE Advisory Council, which occurred on January 21st of this year, when the council voted to recommend the change. Next, school board approval, which we are requesting tonight. Following board approval, I hope, we will submit the formal course application to DOE. This ensures our programs remain fully aligned with state course offerings. The course we are aligning with is called Entrepreneurship. And that's exactly what E-squared is. This new VDOE course closely matches the goals and instructional focus of the E-squared program. These state course competencies include students to create, own, and launch their own venture. Therefore, this course and their competencies align perfectly with our program. The courses also fit nicely together. You can see level 1 is entrepreneurship, level 2 is advanced entrepreneurship, and level 3 is marketing management. This sequence supports continued learning in entrepreneurship and business pathways for our students. To my knowledge, only 2 students in the 18 years have ever progressed to the 3rd level. In comparison, we usually see about 5 to 10 students continue into level 2 each year. So I'd like to thank you for your time and support of the E-squared program, and of course, all of our opportunities that you give and we give in CTE. Before closing, I'd also like to share the upcoming competition dates. Prelims are April 16th, finals are May 1st. Both are at CTEC. These events showcase the innovative work our students are doing and the strong partnerships we have built in our Culpeper community. In addition, Career Partners is celebrating our 25th anniversary on the day of finals, and we'd love to have you attend. attend. Finally, Career Partners is the partnership that brings us all together in our shared mission to provide this meaningful opportunity to our students. On behalf of Career Partners, I'd like to thank our E-squared teachers, our coaches, and our judges for their time, dedication, and commitment to E-squared. And I also thank you. Do you have any questions?
Anyone have any questions, comments? All right. Well, excellent. Did you want to say something?
I would just like to say that it fits very nicely into the VDOE new classifications. So I don't know whether we were a step ahead of where they were, but
We were not. We were waiting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? All right, hearing none. Thank you,
Thank you.
Ms. Lutz. As in our others, I think you saw earlier, Ms. Lutz got up for her 30-year acknowledgement, and those 30 years have been dedicated to CTEC and what used to be vocational at the high school, and she was one of the leaders in the, what was that? Career
Academy.
what?
Career Academy.
Yeah, Career Academy. Absolutely. I've been around long enough to know that, too. So, all right, so is there a motion from any board member on approving the adjusting of the course names?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the adjustment of the course names to reflect the entrepreneurship VDOE description.
I second that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, passes 7-0. We are, let's see, Program of Studies, adjust course weight. We had a presentation on this at the last work session, and now it's up for action. Is there any more information, Mr. Hallman, that you would like for us to have?
I'd be glad to share. Everything's there in the memo. Of course, of course, the first request was going to be that we got those names approved, and then that would be one of the courses that we evaluated. So everything else is there. The first group is the E-squared courses, and again, we used a rubric to compare the rigor of the course, the assessments, instructional delivery, all those kinds of things, and the recommendation is there for you. The very end, you will see that there are a couple other courses that we evaluated that we needed some more information on, or additional work, some summer curriculum writing, or assessment readjustments, those kinds of things.
All right, any questions? Anything anyone needs to ask? Yes, ma'am?
We mentioned this at the last session, but I was really appreciative of you all coming up with a rubric. So it's very clear, and there's less emotion associated with that.
Exactly.
But then also to bring up courses that maybe, as you said, had been honors level courses and now might need to be beefed up a little bit, just to bring everybody to a level playing field. So I appreciate you doing that.
Yep, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, hearing no one else, is there a motion to approve the adjustment of the course weight?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the program of study adjust course weight.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second?
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? 7-0. We are up to superintendent update.
We'll consider it a placeholder. I have no update. Thank you very much.
All righty, then we are up to Mr. Dean.
Drive that too.
Madam Chair, school board members, Dr. Brad's tonight's finance update. We will start with our revenues. We're going to review it as it compares to our budget. As we know, our state revenues are our biggest source of revenue, 66%. Our second biggest is our county at 29%. State revenue is primarily driven by our average daily membership. As we talked about this in December, we know we peaked in enrollment at 8,200. And so we anticipate a drop-off in the second semester. So we are actually seeing drop-off. Enrollment as of the end of February was at 8,117. All that said, our projection remains the same at 8,150 for March 31st. That's still 165 short of budget, or $1.2 million, which is 1%. You know, that's a big miss. How do we offset this? There's two basically sources on the revenue side. We see right now we would project our sales tax coming in a little higher, and then also we see our local revenues coming in higher as well. Along with, as we'll see in the next slides, expenditure savings. So we're actually trending really well on our expenditures. So looking at our expenditures, our school operating fund at 74 million, or 59%, and food service at 2.9 million, 58%. Both of these are positive as compared to the prior year. So let's look at the school board operating fund. On a budget of 125 million, we know that we typically run 8 to 9% per month. January is a lighter month at 7%, February back up to 8%. We have 41% remaining in our budget, or $51.6 million. So very positive there. So looking at it month to month, you can see the trend over last year. So FY26, we're at 58.9% total. And FY25, compared to FY25, we're at 60%. So again, 1.1% savings. We know our revenue shortfall is at 1%. So again, I think we're stacking up comparably well to balance the budget there. Hopping over to our food service, typically it's 8 to 11% is what we see per month operating in the full service months. January and February were not full service between coming back from the holiday and also with the bad weather we encountered. So we have 42% remaining in the budget, or $2.1 million. Again, looking at it month to month, you can see it's very comparable here. 26, we're operating much better than we did in 25 at 58.2% versus 63.1%. Meals are pretty flat, and when you compare year over year, it's really our breakfast and lunch are up and our a la carte is down. So they basically offset one another. But again, the food service team is doing a great job in controlling costs, specifically on the materials. and food supplies, and leveraging our USDA contracts. So very favorable there. Short and sweet, that's it.
All right, anyone have any comments, questions? I'd like to make a comment, because, so that people understand, well, how do you not have this many kids? We can't estimate how many kids are going to graduate in December, or how many kids are going to ask for a religious exemption. Those that leave us prior to that March counting day, we do not get reimbursement for them. Am I correct?
We get reimbursement up to the time they leave.
Right.
So it's not a full student.
Right.
That's correct.
So 1% or less than 1% is a really amazing amount to make it to. So with that, are there any other questions? Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. O'Brien will give us the instruction report, fine arts update.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Dr. Brads. This evening, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the many fine arts programs across Culpeper County Public Schools. As you saw earlier, many of our students, they excel at the local, regional, and state levels. Just this weekend, both our middle schools and high schools went to the district assessment and earned the highest rating of superior. Most of that success begins with the incredible teachers who ignite a passion for the arts in our students as early as elementary school. Last year, I shared the story of my own teacher and mentor who inspired me to become a music teacher, Mr. John Easley. Sadly, he passed away this past November. His impact on others was evident when so many former students and colleagues came to honor him that his family had to reserve the James Monroe Auditorium. As I listened to the story from his former students, certain themes stood out. There were adults ranging in ages from their 30s to their 60s, yet they all shared similar memories. Interesting, they were not about the technical skills that they had learned in band. They talked about the life lessons that they had learned while in band. They talked about learning that when a rehearsal or performance did not go well, success was never about one individual. It was about the group. It was about everyone working together towards a common goal. They talked about learning how to accept mistakes, learn from them, and improve. They talked about the discipline to keep going when things were difficult and the encouragement of a teacher who never let them down. As they remembered the moments when all the hours of rehearsal finally paid off, the pride of accomplishing something together and celebrating these successes as a group. They learned and understood that every person's contribution mattered. The lessons they remembered most were perseverance, discipline, teamwork, and the influence of a teacher who helped them shape the people that they would become. That is why we celebrate Fine Arts Month in each March. It is not simply about learning to sing, play an instrument, create a piece of art, or perform on stage. I'm going to take off my other hat there for talking about gifted researchers such as Renzulli and Torrance. Tell us that creativity is not something students simply have or do not have. It develops through opportunities to imagine, create, collaborate, and reflect. Our fine arts programs provide those opportunities every day for our students, helping students grow not as only artists, but as confident, resilient young people. And it's easy for me to sit up here and praise all of our fine arts programs, but tonight I'd like you to hear from two of our students and why the arts matter to them. I'd like to introduce Zach Harms from Eastern View High School and Ava Marie Dawson from Culpeper County High School. Yeah, I can go first.
Good evening. My name is Zach Harms, and I'm so honored and excited that I get to share this gift of music, and especially choir, and how important it is to not only me, but also other students as well. My choral and fine arts journey started back in 6th grade at Floyd T. Binns. I was just that one new kid who came halfway through the year. This entirely new area made me feel a lot of things. Things like how I felt intimidated, I felt scared, and most of all, I felt alone in this new environment. But in the luckiest turn of events, I got placed into choir as an elective. And not to make it a cliche, but my life has changed, and it would never be the same after that. Everyone who was in that choir class was so open, and I still have so many close friends from that time, all the way from 6th grade to now in senior year. Choir has always been a safe space and a community. No matter where you come from, whether you are not from this area or you are, it is always a place to be singing in the choir. This is because music is strength, music is camaraderie, and music is unity. Music has the ability to communicate without a common language. Throughout my years of choir, my knowledge of other cultures has expanded to no bounds. From singing in English to classic Latin to Russian Christian hymns, Arabic chants, and even Indonesian folk languages. When singing or performing, you do not need to speak the language to understand the feeling it brings. It's about the connection we create as performers between the text and the music through our body language and performance itself. I felt this exact feeling this past week at the ACDA Southern Region Conference, which was in Memphis, Tennessee, where before the concert, members of the choir would share how each piece was significant and important to them. I got to hear so many stories, even some deeply personal, rooted within family issues and religion. Although I did not share publicly, I of course had my own personal connections to the song. And of course, that led to me crying halfway through the song on stage in front of an audience. But of course, being able to be vulnerable in that space, even with an audience, is so amazing and reassuring. In rehearsals, we spend every minute that we have together. We all come together to take the same breath, the same notes, and the same words. But we also share the laughs, the funny references, and the hardships. When someone needs to talk about something serious, there's always someone there for them. And of course, this speech would be amiss if I did not mention the music educators who have forged this environment for us. They're the role models of who we want to become in the future. During the years of school, there are always that set of teachers who are there for you and you connect with more than on the plane of student, but also as a person. Despite only being with Ms. Kreitz for a year, I felt as though I had grown so much, not only as a performer, but as a person. I know countless others who would say the same as me. If I had not been placed in choir back in middle school and fallen into the rabbit hole of music, I genuinely would not have known who I have been today. And in fact, I would not be here sharing with you my love for music right now. And I hope this made you understand how much fine arts programs are important to not only me, but the countless others who use it as an anchor in their life. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ava Marie Dawson, and I'm a junior at Culpeper County High School. I have been singing and doing theater since before I can remember, and being a part of the world of fine arts has transformed who I am. In truth, I had a hard time writing this, not because I didn't have anything to say, but because I had too much to say and too little time. Both choir and theater have made me who I am. Being in theater has made me a more confident person, and being in choir has made me a stronger leader. I'm a region and sub-region speech champion. I'm the first best actor in the region and sub-region, and I have qualified for state level speech 3 times. I say these things not to brag on myself, but to brag on the environment cultivated in the arts. We're always pushing each other to be the best that we can be, and my accomplishments are just one example of that. One of the main reasons that our art programs are so successful is because everyone involved is already friends, so we feel comfortable to share, create, and criticize each other. In the past 2 years of competing at the VHSL one-act competition, we have received 1 note consistently, and that is how we look like a group of friends having fun on stage. I think we've always felt pretty confused by that because we really are a big group of friends having fun on stage. Having arts programs in our schools is what makes Culpeper County great. The arts has given so many students a voice and opportunities they never thought that they'd have. It gives them a place to be themselves and to create freely. Imagining a world where I and many other students may not have that opportunity feels dystopian. That is why I, with my whole heart, believe that Fine Arts in Our Schools Month is so important. It not only highlights the students themselves, but also what comes out of our schools and how amazing Culpeper County really is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we have a short video that kind of highlights some of the events this year, even though it's March and there's still much more to do with spring concerts and art shows and Evie's musical.
In every classroom, every stage, a spark is lit at every age. Brush and ball, voice and drum, this is where our stories begin. Practice turns to confidence, dreams grow stronger in the spotlight. Culpeper Fine Arts, shining bright, finding courage in the light. We got it, hey, we got it, oh, we got it. Because the cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. Everybody's picking up on the feline beat, 'cause everything else is obsolete. I swear with the horn makes you wish you were born every time. What's that coming on the Silk Road out of China? Willpower, I'm will. In the will of the people now. Willpower, I'm the will of the people. Cause if you feed me, Seymour, I can grow up big and strong. Your baby, I don't know. I don't Culpeper Fine Arts, shining bright, finding courage in the light. Every note and every part, building minds and shaping hearts. Together we create, we rise. Culpeper's future before our eyes.
And with that, I thank you. As you can see, we have a lot to be proud of here at Culpeper County Schools in our Fine Arts program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions, comments? Okay, go ahead.
Wow. Can I just say wow? We all do really believe in the fine arts, and we're way back at 100%, but then you present this, and like, can we go 150%? The students, thank you so much for what you shared. You make it come to life for us, and you did a fantastic job.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Who's singing the song, Culpeper Fine Arts?
ITRT, we pull in some AI.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us it was one of our students. Well, thank you so much for the presentation. I think you all know how much I value the arts. We all do up here. And you two students are amazing. Your experience in the program shines through in all that you say and all that you do. And we wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Dr. O'Brien. No.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Brads, I'm happy to give you the operations department update, which is not going to be nearly as inspirational as to what just happened. Okay, starting with our facilities and maintenance, we did replace a rooftop motor at Floyd T. Benz, and you can see some pictures of that work being done. We did some bands on the columns at A.G. Richardson, which helps just to keep those from getting damaged, as well as having weather start to work on corroding the edges of them. So it's good that we replaced those. And at Yao, we did replace the booster heater on one of the dishwashers, again, so that it gets to the proper temperature when they clean the trays and their equipment as they run it through. There's a copy. You can see how much they did in terms of work orders throughout February. That's a snapshot from February 26. Again, our grounds crew worked really hard to get rid of all the snowcrete, as we all will remember, for quite a while. And in fact, I think I'm still trying to repair my driveway from where I took a pickaxe to it. But field blanket, we did remove that as well, so that the grass is starting to green up. And they did some preventive maintenance on our zero turns to make sure our lawn equipment's ready to go. Capital projects, fun stuff here. The CMS renovation, you could see the progress that we're making on the new grade house. Over there on the left, you could see a door frame that's going in. And on the right, you could see some of the flooring that's being put down by the top of the monumental staircase. Eventually, the wall that's behind that gentleman on the right is going to be gone, and that's going to push into the old school. This is what it's looking like from the inside. You see a steel worker up on the left, or I'm sorry, on your right, who is up there putting across the I-beams that they put the roof on top of. And I kind of thought this was kind of neat. We do have a security camera that gives me daily views of what's happening to this part of the academic wing. So this was the picture I shared with you last time, and this just gives you an idea of where we're at now. So you can see we've made some significant gains in terms of the walls, as well as the concrete. We've poured that down and are getting the flooring in place. And you can see the roof behind all the way towards the back starting to make its way across the top as well. So a lot of good progress is happening at CMS. Last time I showed you some images of them getting ready to pour the concrete on the stage in the forum. And you can see what that looks like. That's been done. As well as the electrical outlets that are in there. In the back, you could see where the new lift garage is going to be, garage door, so that set pieces can be brought in from the outside. Here they are actually taking down and clearing out the locker rooms. That's another big area that we're going to be renovating. And I can only imagine how loud it's going to be when they go to pull up that concrete platform right there. But they do have a plan to do it when students aren't there, so that's going to help. This is what the agri-science looks like. And if you might recall, if you know that area of the building, there was never any windows. And you can see the improvements that we are making to introduce natural light. You see the windows on the left. They're waiting for it to get warm enough, and then they're going to punch through. And then they'll be putting in new windows in that stage where those additional classrooms are. This is what it looked like from the outside, looking up that monumental staircase, again, to the area that new tower is going to be on the rear of the building where the parent drop-off is. Real quick, I'm changing gears to Mountain Run Elementary School. That's the building footprint you could see that's been cleared away, and the stormwater management pond that's in the back. Just as a reminder, where exactly is this school going to sit on the property? This image helps to convey that a little bit. One point I'll make is that entry drive is no longer where it's going to be. It's going to be on the easement road that's just to the left of it or to the west of it. That's what it looks like from the air, thanks to Bo Corbin doing some drone videos of the site, which he always does, which is great because eventually we'll be able to put it all together and you can see a time lapse as this building rises from the ground. That's all the rebar that's been shipped and is ready for us to pour the concrete pad. That will be the foundation for the new school as it's slowly erected on that spot. School nutrition, we know where we are on our community eligibility provision. We're at 40%. Almost 41%. You can see how we have direct certification rates that I share with you at every board meeting. You can see where we're at in regards to our breakfast, lunch, a la carte. Everything was up in February, which is good to see. We didn't have quite as many days, but it certainly helps us to get those numbers where they need to be, because participation is so important in terms of what we get reimbursed for. Harvest of the month, one of my favorite topics. In this case, it's roasted butternut squash, which I am 100% for. I love that. It's the best, especially if they put some cinnamon sugar. I mean, no, we don't want to do that, right? A healthy option, but we are looking forward to that and getting out to the schools. And A.G. Richardson is where they're going to do that in the coming days. Technology. Real quick, just give you a rundown of what they did in their department in terms of the number of tickets and help desk calls. We have had a couple incidents with some phishing, so we've been dealing with that in terms of emails. We finished most of what was needed at Eastern View in terms of replacing the access points. Again, ongoing management of network security risks. That does take a lot of time when we do get a phishing email, and if somebody clicks on that, we have to investigate and do some forensics on it. And we are setting up nearly 3,100 Chromebooks, so that does take time as well to get it ready to go on our network and to put into the hands of the students. Transportation department, routing is down a little bit, which is kind of typical for this time of year. A lot of times when it's cooler in the morning, parents just bring their kids. So that's why you see that little difference between the morning and the afternoon. And we do know in the afternoon as well, once spring sports starts, we start to see fewer riders in the afternoon as well. But still over 70%, that's a good rate, a number of kids who rely on bus transportation to get to and from school. Here's our stop arm violations. February was 14 days, and it was a whopping 309 citations. So I know our intent is to improve behaviors and to try to deter people from passing our stop school buses. But in this case, we still kind of have that challenge. We're still getting a lot of folks running by. I will also include that bus patrol is going to come to our in-service that's on the workday this week on Friday, and they're going to present and kind of explain why approval rates aren't quite as high as we would like them. And sometimes it just has to do with how long you put on your ambers to warn drivers and things like that. So we're going to kind of use this as part of our PD day to kind of describe how best to use those. Okay, try to be quick. Any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
The number of Chromebooks, are those replacements for next year?
Those are going to be brand new ones that we're going to put into the hands of kids. Now, as they start to go through them, we have some out-of-date older Chromebooks that they will cycle into the inventory. So a student might just get called to come by the Chromebook Service Center and they'll do a hot swap.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to say thank you for representing butternut squash.
Absolutely.
And then also, I was appreciative at the last meeting of you mentioning that the workers and the contractors were continuing to work at the middle school while we were not in session. And so I know that that's helping on the progress. So I just wanted people to know that. That's a big help.
Absolutely. It makes a big difference. Yeah,
Thanks.
especially when they can work in the interior
Absolutely.
when they couldn't be outside. So.
Ms. Hutchins?
Could we go back to the slide for the stop arm violations? Are these in the usual areas, the increase, the 309, or are they different?
Unfortunately, they are in the usual areas. North Main Street
Yeah.
is definitely a problem.
The big one.
Also further up at Lyons Road where the merge is, when we go to, the 2-lane road from the 4-lane,
Right.
there's that break where there is no median, and we always have bus that stops there. So unfortunately, folks just don't. I think
That's
they
a
might
big
debate
jump
about it.
from
They're
January
not
to
sure whether to
February, yeah.
stop or not. So, yes, ma'am.
Anyone else? I will say that I have noticed that the buses in my area are turning on their ambers way in advance, which is fine, because they're coming around a corner with them going, and I know where they're going. It's the first house on down this way, but if you don't have enough warning from the buses out in my area about how they're doing their ambers and stuff like that, you missing something. So
Absolutely.
thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, board member comments. Mrs. Baker, you begin with us.
Oh, dear. Oh, let's see. Well, as a person with very little talent, I would like to say that between our student recognition, CMS's presentation, and the fine arts presentation, I am really blown away. I'm jealous as can be as well. But they were all wonderful. We have such a great group of kids with wonderful teachers, and I think our system is absolutely terrific. Thank you to everybody.
Ms. Pearson?
I will echo exactly what Ms. Baker said. You know, as a theater and drama person in high school, it was really encouraging to see the students having some of the same feelings and expressing those things that I knew I had when I was in high school. And for us to all be such supporters of the arts is great. And when I came here in 1990, one thing that really impressed me was the inclusivity at CCHS. It was the only high school at the time, and how students with special needs weren't really considered as students with special needs. They were just students, just like everybody else. And that really has left a lasting impression on me for all those years. And I did want to say thank you to Dr. Brads and the staff for producing a transparent budget that is easily understandable. And it remains my pleasure to be associated with all of you and Culpeper Schools.
Ms. Smith?
Well, I could be redundant and repeat everything, but I'm just going to say your last line was mine always. You all make us look good, and you all and the rest of our staff that are not here, and I just want to say thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Sheets?
Well, I think it was wonderful to see all the seats in this room filled up when we got here tonight, and for a good while, those seats all stayed full, so that was just wonderful to see, because we just had so many wonderful things going on tonight with the student recognitions, the student presentations, along with the CMS presentation, seeing all the parents here, and our teachers being recognized. I appreciate the fine arts presentation, and I learned a lot of things there. And as far as the E² program goes, that was very helpful for me because I was not aware of everything that went on in that program. So this has been a very educational and inspiring evening. Thank you all.
Ms. Burnett?
Thank you. I just wanted to say that when you look at our recognition of our employees and their years of service and the dedication, it just, you know, you can't help but produce these students that are excelling in such an amazing way. And I know that I've gone to several of the performances, and I've actually watched Ava grow up. And I knew she was going to be a star from the time she was, I think, 3 or 4 years old. And she was amazing in the Little Shop of Horrors. And Zach, as I've been on the board for over 6 years now, I've watched him blossom into such a confident young man and just amazing students. And, you know, between our teachers and our staff and our administration and this awesome budget that you all put together with the help of every single administrator and department head, which provides for our students. I thank you all for that because it shows in all these successes that our students are having. So thank you so much, and just keep doing this wonderful work because it's paying off and it shows, and we're very proud of all you do.
Ms. Hutchins?
Thank you. I too would like to thank the staff for the budget. It's never an easy job to come up with it, as Ms. Brown said, when we don't know what the funds are, and that's not unusual this year, that's the norm. And trying to come up with a reasonable, rational situation when you don't know what your funds are going to be, concretely know what your funds are going to be, is quite an undertaking. And so I appreciate Dr. Brad's and everybody's work on that. All of the pre-assessments band concerts last week were great, and as Ms. O'Brien said, all of our secondary school bands received Superior at state assessment this past weekend, which is quite an accomplishment. They don't always get a Superior, so that's great for them. I also want to mention Dr. Brad's presentation at the when Congressman Vindman was here to share the check for funds to help to extend Sims Drive, which I hope will happen, will happen. It is long, long overdue. and I greatly appreciate that fund to assist with that. Looking forward this weekend to the Maker Energy Fair and the art show. So I hope everybody will come out to participate and enjoy those. Thank you to the staff for making it happen.
And with that, I have no further comments because everyone has said everything, and I will do the information item. Summary of the school board's committee reports are online. Memberships reported there. Employee Appreciation Week volunteers is April 20th through 24th. Employee Appreciation Week administrative professionals is April 20th to 24th. Future meetings, Culpeper County School Board Administrative Committee meets March 17th at the school board office at 8:30. School board meeting business work session will be on March 23rd at the school board office at 6 o'clock. Capital planning meeting, March 25th at the CMS library at 8:30 in the morning. This has been rescheduled from March 18th. The finance committee meeting will be April 13th at the county office here at this place at 5:15, and the regular board meeting will be on April 13th here at 6 p.m. It includes the classified employees of the year. And now, if you will read us into closed session, Mrs. Pearson.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Madam Chair, I move the school board convene a closed session at 7:41 p.m. to consider the following personnel matters pursuant to the Code of Virginia 2.2-3711A1. The appointment of certified personnel, the appointment of classified personnel, the transfer of certified personnel, the transfer of classified personnel, the separation of certified personnel, the separation of classified personnel, the approval of substitutes for the 2025-2026 school year, the approval of the 2025-2026 amended spring coaching supplements for EVHS, an appeal of the superintendent's decision pursuant to policy JBA 2.2-3711A2, and consultation with legal counsel in briefings by staff members or consultants pertaining to actual or probable litigation where such consultation or briefing in open meeting would adversely affect the negotiating or litigating posture of the public body according to 2.2-3711A7.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we will vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Then we are in recess for a few minutes and then back out.